So we had gotten the Ghostface Killah album and the Slant Face Killah album both dropping on the same day. What a coincidence. What is good, y'all? It's your boy Mixtape Mob. If you are rocking with this content, go ahead and smash that like button up for your boy and subscribe to the channel if you already aren't subscribed. But today, I'm going to hit y'all with my thoughts on his new project from Conway the Machine entitled Slant Face Killah. Alright, so we know Conway the Machine is this Eastside Buffalo and Griselda representative who is the silliest with the bars, but he's also a super consistent solo artist and a record label CEO. Now, Conway has been known to drop a plethora of albums annually, and last year's output was quite impressive, but so far this year, he seems to have taken his time just a bit. Well, for Conway standards at least, because this new album, Slant Face Killah, is his first drop of 2024. It is his full-length follow-up to Won't He Do It from 2023. It contains 14 songs lasting approximately an hour and 5 minutes, so it's a little on the long side for only 14 tracks. But with that being said, let me go ahead and just hit y'all with that track-by-track breakdown. After the Desperate intro, we get the first actual song entitled Muddy, featuring Stove God Cooks, and it's a banger. It's backed by this unnerving and warped conductor Williams beat. Conway comes through with two solid verses, and some interesting lines that jumped out at me were, they say, "Machine, what's your skill set?" I tell him, ain't a dude play with me that I ain't killed yet. He even gets a little more ruthless with lines like, "I kick your baby mama down a flight of steel steps. I rap, but I still step." But then Stove God Cooks delivers a pretty commanding performance. Now, I do see some fans calling this the verse of the year. I personally do not think it is. But it is attention grabbing nonetheless. Stove God is doing some drug math, and that's witty and all, but I didn't particularly love the choppy flow here and how he would kind of stop mid-word and then start over. I don't know, but it was overall a grimy and hard-hitting way to set this off. Track 3, Give and Give, shifts things into soulful territory with this angelic gospel-like sample, courtesy of Cool and Dre. We get one verse from the Machine who's really spazzing here in terms of the flow pocket that he went into. It was really cool, and it did remind me a bit of a mix of, let's say, some Hove and G-Rap. Like, Conway's flow was so effortless, and the production was great, so Give and Give is a standout on this album. Next is Milano Nights Part 1, where we get this lavishly piano backbeat from Camouflage Monk. That's one of my favorites on the album. It's luxurious and smooth, but still full-blown boom bap. And the Machine does speak on having to stay low-key so he doesn't get caught up in some of the allegations out there facing many rappers with lines like, "That's why I be the mystery man. I started with trips to Atlanta, riding back with Doggy in the back like the mystery van." So a very cool Scooby-Doo / drug reference here. But the most hilarious quotable on this album would have to be, "I'm bipolar, I ain't through wildin'. I'll do a drive-by to Andre 3000 Flute album." And he says this in the most nonchalant way, and is followed up by a barrage of gunfire. Following this is Kid Express with Larry June, and it's a solid luxury rap track, although I do feel it could have been sequenced elsewhere on the album because the energy was a bit sleepy. But we do get a dreamy yet still deranged backdrop from Conductor Williams, and something about this track does feel like it could have been featured on any recent Rock Marcy or Alchemist related album. Does that make it bad? No. But the more recent Larry June features I've noticed on underground albums in the past year or so have all sounded pretty similar. But Conway does turn up the heat a few notches with the track Meth Back. Now, this is a rugged posse cut featuring Method Man, SK the King, and Flea Lord, and it's backed by this maniacal circus-like beat from Derringer. Yeah, it's a hard as nails track that likely would have been a mixtape banger back in the mixtape days. While SK the King and Flea Lord did their thing, Meth was the MVP, and I feel Conway had the second best verse. Meth, in my opinion, sounded almost as great as he did on Mobb Deep's feature on Hell on Earth back in '96, which is incredible after all these years that he still sounds that crisp. But yeah, this was a dope record with hard bars and a hard Derringer beat. Immediately after is Ninja Man, produced by Swiss Beats, and thankfully it's not the typical Swiss Beats style of production. Rather, he laces the machine with something smooth and breezy. It was an instrumental that Conway sounded very confident and polished over. He rapped songs with Wayne and Ross when I did business with Shady and Paul. Now my name ringing bells way across. Squeeze sticks, he twitched like Aiden Ross. So I did like the suaveness and the finesse that Conway had going on a track like Ninja Man. Right after is Vertino with Joey Badass, and here we get more of a return to the gritty Griselda flavor of production with a psychedelic twist. Now, the beat from Camouflage Monk and Sadu Gold is evil sounding and likely to be a favorite amongst traditionalists. Conway has some sharp lines reflecting on Griselda's come up with, watch them YouTube videos about the man with them bullet scars. West and Butch would tell you it was the crooked jaw that took us off. So while Conway did the damn thing, I felt Joey Badass really went off for his feature verse, and I like the entendres here. I bossed up and went to Columbia for the deal, like F a Papa Pill-ish. This that pure raw they want to feel. So Vertino, even though it was released back in February, is still one of the highlights from this album. And we do get a change in pace stylistically for the next 3 songs on track 9, which is entitled 10/Rye Interlude. It's a 2-part track. The first features a verse from Key Glock over an icy atmospheric beat. It is a grimy trap record that I enjoyed, and I was surprised to see a Key Glock feature. Hopefully down the line, this could even inspire a Westside Gunn and Key Glock feature. Imagine the possibilities. Gunn and Glizzock. But the second half of this record, Rise Interlude, I didn't enjoy as much. Now, this does have dope, triumphant horn trap beat that sounds straight out of Atlanta. It's not a bad vibe at all, but I can't see this record going over too well with some of the purists who have expressed their frustrations with Griselda branching out too much. You get a continuation of the trap vibes on the track Dasani, which has a bouncy, playful beat that you're just going to listen to for the vibes and the flows. You know, this is not the type of record where the machine is barring us to death. It is just one that you can vibe out to and have some fun. But the instrumental does go pretty hard. And what follows is Raw, produced by Cardo, and it is a menacing bass heavy banger. And I enjoyed the Big Daddy Kane Raw hook, which was embedded, the vocal sample, which was embedded into the hook. What we get are fast-paced flows from both the machine and the legendary Tech 9, which was an unexpected but surprising feature. I mean, it's not every day that you will see Tech 9 on an East Coast centered project. And Conway reminds us, you know, just how much of a natural he can be with the double time flow. And on the third verse, Conway even gives us a little alliteration, you know, which was a nice addition to the track. So yeah, overall, Raw was crazy, and Cardo was in his bag on the production. Following this is Surf and Turf, a posse cut with some West Coast MCs like Jay Worthy, 211, TF, and Ab Soul. Set to a distorted drumless sax loop from Conductor Williams. Now we get a lot of bars here. It's a cool laid-back West Coast vibe overall, but let me know in the comment section who y'all thought had the best verse. The second and last song is Karimi, and it has a spacey boom bap beat from Camouflage Monk that had that head nod appeal. And Conway is just dumbing out, having some fun, flexing his dexterity, making it look easy. And I particularly dug his wordplay and flow pattern here. The machine states, "My jewelry do be hitting bright, no loose leaf when I spew these. Who these dudes kidding? I'm like Cool G mixed with the heavyset guy from Best Style, and Cool G spitting with a mic." Yeah, the first verse on Karimi is fire. Then this album comes to a close with the Red Moon in Osaka featuring Raekwon, this chef. And here we get this majestic credits rolling beat from the Alchemist. There are 2 solid verses from the Machine, and there's this Raekwon feature. Now, unfortunately, he is not rapping, rather, he's just talking. But he is giving out some good game, praise, and words of encouragement for the Machine. But we do eventually need a rapping Raekwon feature on a Griselda project very soon. But yeah, this was a cool and cinematic way to wrap things up. So overall, I'm gonna give this project a rating of 4 mics. I do not see it as lower than 4. For some reason, I felt like this project was a blend of some of the sounds found on albums like From King to a God, La Machina, and Won't He Do It? But probably more so like a continuation of Won't He Do It? But I think this particular project was a little more fleshed out and was a tighter product overall. I wouldn't say it had crazy high highs, but it was just consistently good the whole way through. In terms of the bars, I do feel Conway did step up his pain game just a tad bit on this album. On the production side, you know, there was a sizable amount of boom bap, but there was a trap portion as well. Now, I already know some Griselda fans are not gonna like this, but I feel Conway likes doing this, and he does sound the best out of all Griselda members when doing so. I mean, rapping over trap style beats. He just does. Yeah, at the end of the day, this is not a game-changing or groundbreaking album from the Machine, but it was a fun, lyrical, grimy, and bouncy record that I think covers a lot of ground. I personally don't have any issues with Conway or other Griselda members continuing in this sort of direction, but I know some fans do. I don't know. My favorite tracks include Muddy, Give and Give, Milano Nights Part 1, Meth Back, Ninja Man, Vertino, 10, Raw, Karimi, and The Red Moon in Osaka. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. It's your boy Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out, but as always, it's peace and blessings. Conway, Slant Face Killah 1.